Look at her, she's spitting nerdy. Look at her, she's spitting nerdy. Can't you see she's spitting nerdy? Look at her, she's spitting nerdy.
Hello friends, as you know, I am in phase 2 of my Finding the Perfect Diet journey. If you don't know that, then I will link the video down there that explains my entire phasing and program for finding my perfect diet. But step 1 of phase 2 was to use the paleo diet as an elimination diet. So for the last month and a half, I eliminated all grains, legumes, dairy, as well as bananas and broccoli because I had theories about those that they weren't so great for my body. During that month and a half of not consuming things, I built a spreadsheet that allowed me to list all of my foods and all of my symptoms that I experienced throughout the day so that I could look for any foods that might potentially be confounding variables, like if I constantly ate a specific bar and always felt super bloated afterwards, then I would know not to include that when I was reintroducing foods because that would probably be causing the bloating rather than the food that I'm trying to actually test. One thing that I think is worth noting is that I don't think I actually felt any better at all doing paleo as opposed to my normal diet, which is composed of whole foods but also incorporates things like grains and legumes and the occasional dairy. Unlike with the carnivore diet, where after just a week I noticed that I was significantly less bloated and consistently not bloated, I felt very normal on paleo. There was a little bloating here and there. I didn't have any major digestive issues, but I also didn't feel like my digestion was 100% on point. So I wasn't actually expecting to get any major reactions when I reintroduced legumes, grains, and dairy because I didn't feel significantly different without them. So I'm about to show you my vlog of my whole reintroduction process, which took me approximately 2 to 3 weeks. There are a ton of different reintroduction protocols that you can follow. I ended up going with the Whole30 prescribed reintroduction plan. The way they recommend doing it is having 3 servings of the food spread out throughout the day and then not having any of the food going back to paleo, or in Whole30's case, Whole30, for the next 2 days and monitoring symptoms. I personally picked this way of doing it because I didn't think I was going to have any extreme reactions to any of the food. I was pretty sure that my body could handle 3 servings of any of these foods that I cut out, and so I didn't have to be particularly careful when reintroducing. But if you're someone who has some extreme like autoimmune issues, if you're doing autoimmune paleo because you're experiencing some major negative symptoms, then I recommend following a much more cautious reintroduction plan. Also, if you're following along and doing this plan at the same time, I highly recommend you make sure not to reintroduce foods when you know that there's going to be something else in your life that may affect your body, your digestion, etc. So when I tracked all of my food and my symptoms that I was experiencing, I also made sure to note if there were any other extra things going on in my life, if I had work stress or home stress, or if I was on my period or anything like that that could cause my body to respond in a different way and potentially be a confounding variable. I do plan on making this spreadsheet that I used available for all of you guys at some point, but I'm still doing a few tweaks to make sure it's really super helpful and not too confusing. So with that being said, here is how my reintroduction process went. Today is dairy day. We are reintroducing dairy. In preparation for this, I prepared 2 things to bring with me to work because I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to find quality dairy while I'm at work. So I made a matcha latte with real cow's milk, which I don't think I've ever done before, and I made a chocolate chia pudding, also with real cow's milk. It's still in the process of becoming puddingy. I wanted to use milk for this because it has one of the highest concentrations of lactose compared to the rest of dairy products. So originally I was thinking I might start off with like a full-fat Greek yogurt or something and see how I respond to that, but there's a lot less lactose, and because it already comes with a bunch of probiotics, it's a lot easier to digest, so I won't be able to tell as well if it's actually negatively impacting me. So I'm going full lactose, and the milk I got is from Strauss Family Creamery, and I picked this one because it's the highest quality pasteurized dairy that I can find. Usually when I consume dairy, I go for raw unpasteurized dairy because it has the enzymes in it that help you break down the lactose, and it's just generally better for you because it doesn't process out all of the good stuff that's in dairy. But again, because it's so much easier to digest even for people with lactose intolerances, it wouldn't really tell me much if I consumed that and didn't feel anything. So I picked a high quality pasteurized dairy. All the cows at Strauss Family Creamery are pasture raised. They use no hormones, antibiotics, or pesticides, so it's all organically raised too. I believe I looked it up and they're grass fed. Like, it meets all of my requirements for well-raised animals. It's just that they pasteurize it, which is not what I would usually do. Oh, and then hold up. I am most excited for my 3rd serving of dairy today. Strauss Family Creamery also makes ice cream. So when I get home from work, I'm having some ice cream. I need to run off to work, but I will take you guys with me and keep you updated on how I feel throughout the day. Hopefully I won't have any explosive diarrhea or vomiting or anything of the sort, but you know, if I do, I will let you know. Quick update, I started drinking my matcha latte at 9 a.m. It is now 10:30 and feel totally normal. It is now 2 p.m. and I'm moving my car because I don't have a parking space at work, and I've had 0 negative symptoms so far, so I think I'm gonna have my chia seed pudding now. I did go poop earlier. I feel like we're gonna be talking a lot about poops and farts during this video because it's kind of important to digestion. So just to desensitize you, poop, fart, poop, fart, poop, fart. We good? We got the giggles out? We're used to me saying that? Okay, good. So I pooped earlier. It was like a decent poop, like it wasn't a great poop. And I do think it's possible that it's the dairy that caused my poop to not be an ideal poop, but I also did have a little bit of a gurgly belly last night and even this morning when I woke up. So even this morning I felt like there was already something a little bit off. So it's possible that it's just leftover from something I ate yesterday that didn't agree with me. It's about 3.5 hours post chia seed pudding with cow milk and I'm feeling great. I have 0 digestion issues. My stomach is very normal. I think we're doing okay. I have been looking forward to this all day. I have my ice cream with some shredded coconut and some cacao nibs, and I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the dairy ice cream while I can, because who knows, maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and not be feeling too great and I'll never be able to eat dairy again. So I'm gonna enjoy it while I can. Day 1 post excessive dairy consumption, and I had a really great poop this morning, but the corners of my mouth are getting a little bit dry, which does happen randomly. So I'm not sure if the dairy is causing that, but it is possible. So I will be noting that and see if it gets worse. Poop diaries, day 2 post dairy. I woke up this morning and my skin was even more dry, like around my mouth, and my eyelids were a little bit dry, which isn't abnormal. So I'm not positive that I'm getting the skin reaction from the dairy or not, but I just had a poop. It was not the best poop. It was not great poop. Until now, I was pretty convinced that dairy wasn't gonna be an issue, but now it's in the maybe category, and so I think what I'm gonna end up doing is eliminate it again for another month and then retest it and see if I get any sort of the same symptoms or if I get any negative symptoms again. Really quick poop diaries update. I did realize that yesterday I drank 2 things that I've never drank before, which was probably a really stupid idea because now I have no idea if that's what caused my not so great poop. I put some peppermint essential oil in my drink in the morning, and then I had a Fit Aid like carbonated drinky thing like later in the afternoon, and I've never had either of those before, and so my body was potentially reacting to one of those. So it did have magnesium in it, which I think can actually mess up your poop. Oh great, I messed this up. I'm gonna have to retest dairy because I definitely messed this up. Today marks the beginning of Poop Diaries Volume 2. Today we are testing legumes. This is my post-gym breakfast. I have some eggs and avocado, as well as some of my pumpkin spice sweet potato from my fall breakfast recipe video. And then I have about 2.5 tablespoons of peanut butter, and this peanut butter is literally just peanuts, organic peanuts, so it'll be a good test of one of the legumes in the legume family. And then at lunch, I'm gonna go to the salad bar in my favorite grocery store ever and get a salad. And I've been having to avoid all of the beans that I usually put on my salad, but today I get to put all the beans on my salad. And then for dinner, I'm gonna be having a lentil vegetable soup. So my goal today is just to get the widest array of legumes because I have the peanuts, I have the beans, and I have the lentils, and I feel like that's pretty full spectrum legumes. It is lunchtime and I'm off to make myself a little bean-filled salad. So far, 0 digestive issues whatsoever today. I've been feeling squeaky clean. So here is my bean-filled salad. That's a little bit more of a salad than I was hoping for. This might make me extremely full and make my stomach unhappy because of that, but hopefully I can stop myself from eating the whole thing if I get too full. And then I got a Living Raw peppermint patty because I like having a little bit of chocolate when I'm done eating a big meal because that just makes me happy. Poop diary update, post lentils, day 1. Last night I pooped and it was a good poop.
that's basically all I had to tell you. That my digestion seems on point. Legumes do not seem to have had an effect on me so far. My skin is doing fantastic. Thursday, post-legume consumption day 3, I had a really great poop this morning and everything seems to be totally fine. I haven't had any negative digestive symptoms since consuming legumes, so I think I'm safe to say that I am not intolerant to them. Now, I know there are plenty of reasons why someone might decide that consuming legumes is not for them, aside from the fact that they may or may not be intolerant to it. That is not the idea or topic up for debate. Only thing that I am trying to determine is whether or not my body can process them well and if they cause me any digestive issues. And so far, they have not. So I think that is going on my definitely can continue to consume without digestive distress list.
Good morning, happy grain day to everyone, aka the day I determine if there is rice in my future. Today I am reintroducing grains. I just got back from the gym, so I am going to have a little protein smoothie. I am using the Organifi chocolate, which I haven't been able to use because it has quinoa protein in it, which usually I think is super cool because most vegan proteins only have pea protein, and this one has 3 different kinds of vegan protein, and so it's really nice to have the variety, but that means it's not paleo, so I'm excited to be able to use this again, at least for today, and then if I determine that I can't have grains, then I guess I'll be selling this to my mom. But anyway, I'm starting out with some quinoa in my smoothie, and then I'm also making some oatmeal right now that I'm gonna have later, and then with my dinner, lunch dinner, late lunch, early dinner, I'm gonna have some sort of grain. I'll probably try to get rice because I think quinoa, oats, and rice is a good like spread of different grains to test out. Also, just to keep you guys in the loop, the poop loop, I had a good poop this morning. It was great. So we're starting out on like a clean digestive system, and so I think today's gonna be a good day to test the grains.
It's been a few hours since I finished my oatmeal and I'm feeling great. My digestion's feeling great. My skin's doing like so much better than it even was yesterday. Like everything is just going really well today. So now I'm off to go get lunch, dinner. I have a weird eating schedule right now and I don't even know what's happening, but I'm off to get my final big meal. And I think what I'm gonna do is go to Sweet Green because that's the one place near here that I know I can get healthy food that I can also add a grain. Here's the final salad. It's a base of kale, and I was actually able to get both wild rice and quinoa put on it, so I did that since I figured the quinoa in my protein smoothie this morning didn't count as an entire serving of grains and I want to have 3. This is 2 servings of grains plus a bunch of veggies and a dairy-free pesto vinaigrette. Poop diaries update post grain consumption day 2. What is it? Yeah, I had grains on Friday. It's now Sunday. My digestion has actually, no joke, been better than ever. I had a really good poop yesterday morning, had a really good poop this morning. Everything seems to be flowing through my body quite nicely. So I think it's pretty safe to say that I digest grains pretty well. It's broccoli day. I am reintroducing broccoli today for my breakfast. I have some eggs and some chopped up broccoli stem that I steamed really quick with some salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, some extra virgin olive oil. I am not looking forward to today because I've kind of tested broccoli before and it did not go well. I was basically farting the rest of the day, and so I'm kind of nervous to have this and then go to work and maybe be miserable all day at work. But I'm also literally just boiling some more broccoli, gonna add some more salt and pepper and stuff to that. And then assuming this does not go so poorly that I already know I'm not intolerant to broccoli, I will be having that throughout the rest of the day. So I might just be a mess today. We'll see how this goes. So I had my big bowl of broccoli and I'm actually feeling really great, which really confuses me because it's been about a year since I had broccoli because I took it out of my diet twice and both times I reintroduced it, I couldn't stop farting. So I don't know what's happening. Maybe I recovered from my broccoli intolerance from not eating it for a year. So this is what I got for dinner. I got my ginormous salad, the same thing I got with the beans, but without the beans this time. Then for a little dessert, I got some cocoa runes. And then I'll be adding my broccoli on the side. Guys, I am so bloated and I can't stop farting. Like, I'm pretty uncomfortable right now. This is the worst my digestion has felt in actually quite a while, so I'm gonna go with broccoli is not ideal for my body. I'm just calling it now. Everything else that I ate today is stuff that I eat all of the time and feel no negative symptoms from, and I'm usually perfectly fine. With the addition of broccoli, not fine. It's the next day and I'm literally still bloated and still farting from this stupid broccoli. I'm mad about it. My poop is not ideal. So it's going great, guys. We're doing great. It's banana day and it's the last day that I am testing something new, although I will retest dairy after this. But today we're doing bananas. I went to Albertsons and got 2 bananas and some banana chips. So I'll be eating those throughout the day. I'm gonna have 1 banana with my breakfast. For breakfast, I just wanted to go super basic and simple, something I know that when I have it, I feel 100% fine afterwards. So I have some eggs, some avocado, and some sausage, and a little bit of kombucha. This one I'm actually honestly dreading the most because you guys know that I have some huge skin issues. I don't get a lot of acne, although this month has been kind of bad because I was testing out a new skin product that clearly was not working. But I don't get a lot of acne, but my skin likes to turn into lizard skin basically when it interacts with something that it doesn't like, and sometimes that can be environmental, but I do think that there are some food triggers as well, and I think banana is one of them. And it usually, the last like 3 times I've had banana, it has made my face extremely itchy, like to the point where I'm literally scratching my skin so hard that it might bleed. So, might be bleeding by the end of today, who knows. So I've had an entire banana and about 4/5 of this bag of chips. Pro tip if you're looking for a yummy snack, these are so freaking good, oh my god. I'm starting to feel a tiny bit itchy, but nothing that would be out of the norm for a normal day, so no conclusions yet, not tearing my face off yet. This is good, we're off to a good start. I'm gonna be so happy if I don't end up actually getting super itchy today and I don't end up realizing that I can't eat bananas ever again, because I'd be really sad if I can't eat bananas ever again. I think I spoke too soon. Starting to get some itches. The rest of this day could suck really bad. It is now about 5 o'clock. I am off to go get dinner with a side of banana, and I have basically almost finished off my bag of banana chips, but I have started to get itchier and itchier. I can kind of feel my skin like prickling up. I've been itching my hand non-stop. It's covered in like bumps, and I'll show you. It might be kind of hard to see, but my skin here is like super bumpy and rashy, and it's starting to bleed. My armpits were starting to get super itchy like an hour ago, and that's kind of stopped, but now my arms and my back are starting to get itchy, so it's a fun time. I have a feeling by the end of the day, I'm gonna thoroughly regret having had all these bananas, and I'm gonna be scratching all my skin off. Okay, I'm making the call right now. I'm not even gonna have my last banana. This is getting bad, and having more is just gonna make it worse. My whole like upper arm is super itchy. My forehead just started to get itchy. This hand is now super itchy and not looking good, and a little bit starting to bleed. So I'm calling it. Bananas are a no-go. We're not messing with bananas anymore.
And that was my whole reintroduction process. I will note that I did not reintroduce gluten specifically because I have celiac disease. I already know that's gonna mess me up. And I will now be staying away from broccoli and bananas for the next year, and I'll probably retest in a year to see if my body has outgrown that intolerance or learned to tolerate them. And this is why building a diet around your specific body and your specific food intolerances is so important, because I'm pretty sure there's no diet that eliminates both bananas and broccoli. There's no school of thought or dogma that would suggest that both bananas and broccoli are bad for you, and they aren't bad for you, they just don't work well personally with my body. I'm not recommending that anyone else cut out bananas or broccoli unless you eliminate them for a month and then reintroduce them and discover that you actually experience negative symptoms when you eat them. With dairy, I plan on retesting with higher quality dairy. Hopefully I can get my hands on some like raw goat or sheep milk, because A, raw dairy in general is a lot easier for the body to digest, and B, goat and sheep milk is a lot easier to digest than cow's milk. And if I experience no symptoms from that, then I will continue to incorporate higher quality dairies into my diet on a more limited basis, because I don't really eat a lot of dairy anyway, but if I am looking for dairy, I will try to opt for those options. With the grains and legumes, I plan on continuing to eat them in moderation, since I experienced 0 symptoms from consuming a buttload of them in one day. And that's it. I think I'm gonna give myself a few weeks off of being super strict with my food before I dive into my next elimination diet. I'm not too too sure what I'm going to be eliminating yet. I need to think about my results from this. I think I'll probably eliminate cruciferous vegetables since I do have apparently an intolerance to broccoli, and sometimes when I have giant kale salads I get super bloated and I fart a lot. I think with my original plan I was going to do low FODMAP next, so that might be my next move. But if you have any suggestions, let me know down in the comments below. In the meantime, please do give this video a big thumbs up because it really does support me and my channel and I really appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends and your family and anyone who you think might need to see this. Please subscribe for more videos and hit the notification button so you don't miss the future videos, and I will see you very soon. Bye!